What's up, y'all? This is Wheezy. If you enjoy this content, please remember to rate and review. Ever since getting banned on Google, it has been a true headache to get back up and rolling. So please share with like-minded friends, rate and review, and enjoy the show. Can't thank y'all enough. Much love. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Wheezy's Weekend Wind-Up. What's up, Miss T? What's up, Secret Squirrel? The lovely Miss Hev. Thank you guys for coming out. And this will be another installment of Wheezy's Weekend Wind-Up. Thank you guys all for the support. The podcast keeps growing on the podcast platform, especially Spotify. And if you haven't already, please give it 5 stars. God damn it. That would behoove me greatly. And just keeps the algorithm going. If you don't know by now, most of the content is podcasts with extremely awesome guests. So if you haven't done so, please follow on your favorite podcast player or on Rockfin Odyssey, where you can check it out. All right. Let's see. So a lot of stuff has been going on this week. And I try to get the top stories of the week and read you some articles, give some opinion, and go about it that way. And again, most of the shows that I do are with guests. And if you go through the back catalog, you will find some rather interesting content, if I may say so myself. And again, thank you guys all for the support. So we've been hearing about the Trump indictment for quite some time. And I want to go over it a little bit. If you guys have been following me for a while, I don't really care about politics, Republican, Democrat, left, right, paradigm nonsense. But it is news, so we will touch on an article that came out hot off the presses. This is by the Western Journal. It is written by Jonathan Jones. Former top DOJ official spots something on page 3 of Trump indictment that could be grounds for granting a motion to dismiss. Jeffrey Clark, who was an assistant attorney general in the Trump administration, said Friday the Justice Department's indictment of former President Donald Trump contains grounds for a dismissal. Trump announced on social media Thursday night that he had been informed he had been indicted in special counsel Jack Smith's investigation into his handling of classified documents. On Friday, the full 49-page indictment was unsealed. Trump will be charged with 37 felonies in total. 31 of the charges will be for alleged violations of the Espionage Act regarding a willful retention of classified documents. The former president of leading GOP presidential contender in 2024 has maintained his innocence and will fight the case. The indictment is the culmination of the FBI raid on Trump's private Mar-a-Lago club and residence in Florida on August the 8th. It claims he showed classified documents to multiple people without security clearances on 2 separate occasions in 2021. The Justice Department said both alleged instances occurred at Trump's club in Bedminster, New Jersey. One of those alleged instances was leaked to the media this month. CNN reported June 2nd that federal prosecutors had obtained an audio recording of a summer 2021 meeting in which former President Donald Trump acknowledges he held onto a classified Pentagon document about a potential attack on Iran. Multiple sources told CNN, undercutting his argument that he declassified everything. It remains unknown who the network sources were. Clark took to Twitter on Friday afternoon and said the leak to the media is grounds for Trump to have the case dismissed. I'm beginning to read the indictment against Trump, he said, but even 3 pages in, it's clear that the leaks that preceded the indictment are far too close to what is actually being pleaded by DOJ to be a coincidence. For example, Clark continued, in paragraph 6A on page 3, we hear about the recording of Bedminster Call, which the MSNBCs of the world have been beating a dead horse about for quite a while based on such leaks. This means that Trump's lawyers could not possibly be the source of the leak. Ergo, the leaks are coming from DOJ, he said. They must be investigated and punished. Also, this is grounds for granting a motion highlighting jury pool poisoning and dismissing the indictment before it reaches even its 1-month birthday. The former DOJ official concluded, all of this is so outrageous it shocks the conscience. It's fundamentally anti-American. So there you go. Which, in my opinion, is more political theater. Keep the masses bickering at each other, distracted while other shenanigans happen behind the scenes. That's just my take on it. Some more breaking news. Ted Kaczynski, aka the Unabomber, is no more. It was announced that he died. Causes are still unknown. This article is from The Daily Beast, written by Chris Hippensteel. Unabomber Ted Kaczynski, who killed 3 people and hurt 24 more in a deranged reign of terror that lasted 2 decades, was reportedly found dead in his prison cell on Saturday. A Federal Bureau of Prisons spokespersons confirmed the 81-year-old's death at a medical facility in North Carolina where he was moved in 2021 because of health issues. No cause of death was released. Cheers. Kaczynski was serving 4 life sentences after pleading guilty to 16 bombings between 1978 and 1995 in a twisted one-man rebellion against modern life waged from a mountain shack. So you can see some of the, I would deem, slanderous claims against Ted Kaczynski, and I can touch on it a little bit after we read this article. He was turned in by his brother David, who recognized his writing style in a manifesto published by the Washington Post and the New York Times. It was a nightmare, David Kaczynski said in 2005. According to the Associated Press, I was literally thinking my brother is a serial killer, the most wanted man in America. So Ted Kaczynski and his manifesto, I had been hearing more and more people recently bring it up and how he was pretty much ahead of his time, talking about the surveillance state and how extremist leftism would be the demise of the United States. And with all these story hours and people not knowing what is a woman and all these crazy things going on, some have looked at Ted Kaczynski as a man ahead of his time, and pretty strange that he has been found dead. I mean, he was 81, so it could have definitely been natural causes, but just thought I'd bring that up since it was a article that many of us had heard something or another about Ted Kaczynski. I think the vast majority of people don't know what even was contained in that manifesto. All you hear are these snippets of the Unabomber, and as you have on the thumbnail, that little sketch, that infamous sketch of him. And as this story wrote, a deranged lunatic, essentially. But nothing is black and white. There's always far more nuance to everything. So next article is regarding Nord Stream. I did a podcast. If you go down the list of my episodes, I read Seymour Hersh's entire Substack on the Nord Stream and how he believes it was sabotaged by the good guys, quote unquote. Us, not Russia, but us. And this week, we had seen several articles come up pointing fingers towards Ukraine. This article is by Reuters. Nord Stream sabotage probe turns to clues inside Poland, Wall Street Journal reports. June 10th. German investigators are examining evidence suggesting a sabotage team used Poland as an operating base to damage the Nord Stream pipelines in the Baltic Sea in September, the Wall Street Journal reported on Saturday. The investigators have reconstructed the 2-week voyage of the Andromeda, a 50-foot, 15-meter yacht, suspected of being involved in the sabotage of the Nord Streams 1 and 2 pipelines, the newspaper said. The journal cited people familiar with the voyage as indicating the sabotage crew had placed deep-sea explosives on Nord Stream 1 before they set the vessel on a course towards Poland. It added that Germany was trying to match DNA samples found on the vessel to at least one Ukrainian soldier. Germany's Federal Criminal Police Office and Poland's government spokesman did not immediately respond to requests for comment from Reuters, but one senior Polish official suggested the newspaper report was a result of Russian propaganda. How many times do we got to hear that nonsense? Information about Polish or Ukrainian clues in the destruction of Nord Stream 1 and 2, repeated in the media space, is consistently used by the Russian apparatus of influence to create the presumption among the recipients that Warsaw and Kiev were behind this incident. Stanislaw Zarin, deputy of Poland's Minister Coordinator of Special Services, wrote on Twitter. Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 put Europe's reliance on Russian natural gas in the political spotlight. The destruction of the Nord Stream pipelines hastened the region's switch to other energy suppliers. Nord Streams 1 and 2, each consisting of 2 pipes, were built by Russia's state-controlled Gazprom to pump 110 billion cubic meters of natural gas a year to Germany. The Washington Post reported this week that the U.S. had learned of a Ukrainian plan to attack the pipelines 3 months before they were damaged by the explosions, which occurred in the economic zones of Sweden and Denmark. Both countries said the explosions were deliberate, but have yet to determine who was responsible. German media in March identified the possible involvement of a yacht from a Poland-based company owned by Ukrainian citizens in the attack. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky on Wednesday told German media Ukraine did not attack the pipelines. We gotta believe this former actor and a man who plays the piano with his phallus. Again, go back, and if you are interested in more Nord Stream stuff, I did go over the Nord Stream Substack article by Seymour Hersh. I read the entire article, so if you don't have time to read it, just have my annoying voice read it to you. You know what I'm saying? So next article, I don't usually do sports, but I thought this article was rather interesting. The PGA and Live Golf recently merged, very, very recently, and there had been controversy because of Saudi involvement. And even 9/11 families were not too happy with this move. And prior to the merger, the other side was talking smack, saying, you guys this is wrong. This is a disgrace to families of 9/11 because of the Saudi involvement. This isn't a conspiracy theory. If you read the 28 pages report, which I mentioned quite a bit, we find out how deeply involved the Saudi regime was in 9/11. Again, not a conspiracy theory. This is a fact. And let's see, which is a reminder. I did an awesome podcast with John Cullen and the ties between the Saudis and the Las Vegas shooting back in October of 2017. If you missed it, definitely check it out. It was truly a great episode. But all right. So this article is from Yahoo by Ryan Young, written on the 7th of June. Jay Monahan struggles to defend hypocrisy claims from 9/11 families after Live Golf merger. I have to own that. The PGA commissioner said he is working to find a way to reward tour players who did not jump to join Live Golf. A lot of people are angry with Jay Monahan this week. The PGA Tour commissioner, just a day after he announced a surprise merger between his league and Live Golf, is well aware that he's taken a hit. He was called a hypocrite to his face in a players' meeting in Toronto on Tuesday. And Rory McIlroy, who has been perhaps the tour's biggest supporter in its battle against Live Golf, said Wednesday morning that he felt like a sacrificial lamb. Most golfers learned of the news alongside everyone else. McIlroy, who is trying to defend his title this week at the RBC Canadian Open, said he received a call just a few hours before the announcement was made. Since then, Monahan has received a lot of criticism, both internally and externally. He held an intense and heated players' meeting at Oakdale Country Club in Toronto on Tuesday afternoon. The 9/11 Families United, an organization of families of September 11 victims, bashed Monahan too. Monahan once invoked the memory of 9/11 terrorist attacks while criticizing Live supporters. Reversing on that moral stance now, the group said, is deeply offensive. Like Bryson DeChambeau did when trying to defend Live Golf's financial backers on CNN on Tuesday night, Monahan struggled to defend his reversal on that front. I think about the fact that I allowed confidentiality to prevail here. And in allowing confidentiality to prevail, I did not communicate to very important constituents, including the families of 9/11, and I regret that. I really do. Monahan said on the Golf Channel on Wednesday. But as we sit here today, I think it's important to reiterate that I feel like the move that we've made and how we move forward is in the best interest of our sport. We've eliminated those fractures, but for any difficulties I've caused on that front, I have to own that as well, and that comes back to communication. As for being called a hypocrite, Monahan is trying to own that too. I understand the criticism I'm receiving around the hypocrisy and me being hypocritical given my commentary and my actions over the last couple of years, he said. As we went forward and reached a compromise, that was obviously one of my greatest considerations. That was one of my great considerations. But any hypocrisy, I have to own, nobody else. That's on me. It shouldn't be directed at the membership. That should be directed at me. As we sit here today, I'm confident that we've done something that's in the best interest of our sport and ultimately in the best interest of PGA Tour members. Monahan, those who stuck with the tour will be rewarded. There are still plenty of details to be figured out about the new golf merger. One of the biggest will be how Live Golf defectors will be welcomed back into the PGA Tour. In McIlroy's eyes, that can't just happen without any punishment. There still has to be consequences to actions, McIlroy said Wednesday. The people that left the PGA Tour irreparably harmed this tour, started litigation against it. We can't just welcome them back in. That's not going to happen, and I think that's one of the things that Jay was trying to get across yesterday. Is guys, we're not just going to bring these guys back in and pretend like nothing's happened. That is not going to happen. Blah, 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 blah. Though Monahan doesn't have the answers yet as to what, if any, consequences there will be for Live golfers, he insists that the players who remained with the tour throughout the Live Golf saga will be rewarded. Their loyalty will be rewarded, Monahan said. I'm going to spend every single waking hour as we move forward here. That the players that have created the PGA Tour have created this pro-competitive, legacy-driven juggernaut that have articulated and supported the direction that we are going in. Ultimately, the decision we made, I believe, is going to make it better for all our players. Loyalty, ultimately, as a leader, is something that must be rewarded. How that manifests itself is something I'm going to spend a lot of time working on. And I think when we're having this conversation down the road, that's something I look forward to being more specific about. Whether that can make up for the potentially tens to hundreds of millions of dollars players missed out by avoiding LIV Golf remains to be seen. Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau, and others reportedly received well in excess of $100 million to join LIV. While he knows it's going to take some work, Monahan is at least hopeful he can rebuild his relationship with the players. So enough of that nonsense. Bottom line, money. This is all about money, in case anyone missed that. Screw the 9/11 victims. We're going to sweep the Saudi roll in 9/11 for some dollar bills, y'all. That's what I get from that article. If you don't get that, feel free to comment otherwise, but that's why I read this rare sports article on a weekend windup. Other stuff came out this week as well, and UFOs, whatever. I personally think this whole UFO stuff is a bunch of hogwash, more distractions, just like the political theater going on. But some people, and you may be listening to this, and you may be of this thought process, there are people that think this is really happening, and a lot of quote-unquote evidence is coming out. And as this article states, supposedly there's whistleblowers now, and I'm going to show another article on a Vegas UFO. I'm not trying to crap on, if you believe, that's, we're all entitled to what we want to believe in and not. My personal stance is, I'm not convinced. The more the government talks about it, the more these news articles come out. I'm like, hell no. I'm not going to fall for no Operation Bluebeam, if you know what I says. All right, this article is from The Guardian. Who is the author? I don't see an author here. Oh, Adam Gabat, something like that. All right, a whistleblower claims the U.S. has alien vehicles, but where's the proof? Some prominent experts have expressed growing skepticism over whether the U.S. is harboring UFOs, as a government whistleblower who made the extraordinary claims has gone on to suggest the U.S. had also recovered alien bodies. David Grush, I'm not sure if I said it right, my apologies, a former intelligence official who led the analysis of unexplained anomalous phenomena, UAP, within a U.S. Department of Defense agency, caused headlines around the world with his assertion that the U.S. had been collecting non-human craft for decades. God damn. That prompted the U.S. House of Representatives to announce an investigation into Grush's allegations, with a hearing on the issue expected to be announced in the next few weeks. Sorry, I saw Boris Johnson. I did see the article, but I don't think I'm going to read the article. Some Boris Johnson stepping down news for all you UK folk. The hearings is set to be the latest official U.S. response in recent years to the issue of UAPs, which has raised heated speculation among UFO believers as well as prompted national security concerns in America about the possibility of unknown craft from other states that could be penetrating U.S. airspace as operating around the globe, or flat Earth. I know there's some people that believe in the firmament, so hashtag respect to y'all. But Grush's whistleblowing claims have grown more dramatic after he has emerged into the public eye and are now facing growing skepticism. After initially telling the debrief website the government had possession of intact and partially intact alien vehicles, he has gone on to suggest the U.S. has also encountered malevolent alien pilots. Experts in UFO lore have suggested his assertions should be taken with a grain of salt, questioned the veracity of his claims, and demanded proof. Show me the paperwork. Show me the proof, as Mr. Atwood once told me. And then I showed that surveillance footage of Miss Diamonds in the pink joggers. Shout out to DJ Mossy. He has not presented anything like the evidence that we would expect to believe something as extraordinary as this, said Garrett Graff, a journalist and historian whose upcoming book, UFO, The Inside Story of the U.S. Government Search for Alien Life Here, and Out There, will be published in October. There's no first-hand knowledge. He didn't see these things himself. He didn't touch them. He wasn't part of the operation to retrieve them, and we haven't heard from anyone who was. The debrief published the allegations from Grush, who left the government in April after a 14-year career in U.S. intelligence, on Monday. Interesting. He told the news outlet that secretive U.S. government agencies and defense contractors had been recovering fragments of non-human craft, and in some cases, entire craft, for decades. According to the debrief, Grush's knowledge of non-human materials and vehicles was based on extensive interviews with high-level intelligence officials. He said he had reported the existence of a UFO material recovery program to Congress and filed a complaint with the Intelligence Community Inspector General. That complaint contained classified locations, program names, and other data, the debrief said. But in a follow-up interview with News Nation on a Tuesday night, Grush said the U.S. had also found alien pilots. Well, naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true, Grush said. Grush said there was a sophisticated disinformation program targeting the U.S. populace to suppress the information on UFOs, which is a common conspiracy trope in the UFO community. The story aligns with a lot of similar stories that have played out, going back to the 1980s and 1970s, that together allege that the U.S. government has kept an incredible secret, the literal most extraordinary secret that mankind could have, for not just weeks or months, but years and decades, with no meaningful leak or documentary evidence to ever come forward, Graff said. And I think when you look at the government's ability to keep a secret, other really important secrets, there's a lot of reason to doubt the capability of the government to do that. Let me pause real quick. This is a common thing that people say when they want to dismiss secrets and conspiracies. Let's look at the Manhattan Project, where over 100 or nearly 150,000 people, most of which were quote-unquote crisis actors, were living in little towns, and they were all working for this top secret project that was kept under wraps for many years. So let me rebut that real quick there by Mr. Graff right there. To date, AARO has not discovered any verifiable information to substantiate claims that any programs regarding the possession of reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials have existed in the past or exist currently. AARO is committed to following the data and its investigation to wherever it leads, said Sue Goff, a spokesperson for the Department of Defense. AARO, working with the Office of General Counsel and the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, has established a safe and secure process for individuals to come forward with information and to aid AARO in its congressionally mandated historical review. AARO's historical review of records and testimonies is ongoing and due to Congress by June 2024. AARO welcomes the opportunity to speak with any former or current government employee or contractor who believes they have information relevant to the historical review. Mick West, a science journalist and author who is a noted UFO skeptic, told News Nation that parts of Grush's claims were essentially part of a UFO mythology. Like Graff, he said the fact that Grush's evidence is secondhand makes it difficult to believe. That's a huge point. He's not someone who worked on any of these programs. He said he didn't see any photographs. He's not actually seen these things. He's talked to people, West said. And to be fair, that's a fair point, if true. All right. And we know there are people who think they've worked on programs, and there have been people coming forward for many years. It never actually amounts to anything, and it's quite possible that people have become convinced that they are working on programs like this simply because reverse engineering programs of crash things are actually real. Re-engineering efforts go all the way back to the First World War, when the US began retrieving German equipment from the battlefield and rebuilding it. In his interview, West pointed to the example of Cosmos 954, a Soviet Union satellite that exploded over Canada. A Canadian-American team collected debris and, West said, attempted to reassemble it. That would have been top secret. That would have been a highly compartmentalized program, and you could very easily see how people working on a program like this could come to believe that they are actually working on UFOs. As he believes Grush's story, West said, I don't think what he's saying is accurate. I think it's quite possible he's believing in what he's saying, but it's quite an incredible story that really needs some actual verification, and I'm hoping that's going to be coming soon. I hope you appreciate. I don't have to read that. Screw you. Pretty interesting article. I remain a skeptic. Show me the proofs. Show me the evidence. But if you do believe in it, I mean, this is a pretty good article. For show. You know what I'm saying? Let's go on to another UFO related article. This one, and we'll play the video as well. This is on CNN. Vegas police respond to a report of a 10-foot creature in yard after green flash across the sky. What the hell is going on right here, man? I think they're speeding up Operation Bluebeam, if you ask me. Cheers. Oh, damn, that hits the spot. What the hell? Oh, this is a Voodoo Ranger. 9.2% hits a spot. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty rough. Let's see. Las Vegas Metro Police released body camera footage showing a mysterious object in the sky. A family later reported that they had non-human visitors in the backyard. Holy shit. Shortest article ever on Weezy's Weekend Windup. Apparently that's it. Let me play. If you want to see the video, definitely go to my Odyssey. Subscribe to me there. We hit 700 subs on Odyssey. That is a feat. That is freaking awesome. Thank you guys for subbing there. I have 2 Odyssey channels, so if you are on the smaller Odyssey channel, find my bigger channel, please, and you'll get most of my content there. My smaller channel just replays whatever I put on my YouTube channel. So screw that little channel. Go to the bigger channel for the vast array of my content. So let's play this.
Go. My name is Alita Marjorie.
Oh shit. Commercial real quick. So I'm going to play that. And if, again, subscribe to my Rockfin, my Odyssey, if you want YouTube. Who knows, at any time, you know, things could happen. So make sure you follow me on those uncensored freedom of speech platforms. And Spotify lets me play videos. So if you want, just follow me on Spotify. And they've been pretty awesome. I've had some hiccups, but they've corrected. All right, here we go.
I don't know. I'm so nervous right now. I have butterflies, bro. Everyone thought a shooting star. Then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
Me and my brother, we just
Did you see it? Huh? Did you see it?
Yeah, me and him saw it.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big. That's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
Can we go that side?
Weird. Just the fact that our partner saw something at the same exact time. If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky? Like, if you see any, like, little, well, not little in this case. They're claiming 8 to 9 foot tall green beings that were in their backyard. Sounds crazy, but you never know.
Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you guys think about that video? Are you guys convinced? Like I said, man, whatever you guys want to believe. You guys want to believe in UFOs, you guys want to believe in flat earth. Those are things that I do not personally ascribe, but I'm not going to crap on anyone that does. This is part of being a free speech absolutist, man. Believe your things. Just make your case. But I also have that right to dissect it if need be. But if you are convinced, leave some comments there. Let me know what y'all think. You can leave comments on Spotify as well now, so please do that. And don't forget to review. All right, last article. It's kind of messed up, but it's kind of funny. So this is from Yahoo News, and from Reuters, I'm sorry. Written by... Try to give the author credit whenever it's there, but I don't see an author name here. Royal Guards collapse in heat at rehearsal. One guard was escorted off the square while 2 others needed to be carried away on stretchers. The procession at Horse Guards Parade, named Colonel's Review, is the final evaluation before it gets showcased before the king during the trooping of the Kalua, or Color, on June 17. Prince William, who was carrying out the inspection, relayed his appreciation to the participants on Twitter. A big thank you to every soldier who took part in the Colonel's Review this morning in the heat. Difficult conditions, but you all did a really good job. Thank you, W, he said. Terrible English accent, but I gave it a go, you know what it says. So let's play the video real quick. What the hell's going on in the UK, man? So we're seeing a soldier just collapsed on the ground if you just listen to audio only. And everything is going as normal. No one is flinching. There's a couple people in the stretcher picking a dude up. It's messed up, but it cracks me up how these guys just stay in character, even for a situation like this. I don't understand it. Maybe people in the UK understand this shit. I sure as hell don't. America, I'll say. So there you go. Again, I'm not laughing at the people that collapsed due to heat exhaustion. It's messed up. Let me get that out the way. What I is laughing about is how homeboys collapsed and everyone stays in character. Like if nothing's going on, nothing to see here, folks. I don't know. Maybe that's just my messed up humor, American humor. But I thought that was a little silly. Thank you guys all, to all 11, 12 people that made it. We got any other news? What's up, Soulways 2021? Who else we got up in here? Any other? Oh, DJ Mossy made it here. I gave you a shout out earlier. Yeah, I hope you caught that. You son of a bitch. What's up, George O'Brien? Hell yeah. I think that's all the other newcomers. Thank you guys. Always a treat to have you. I know this was last minute, so I didn't have time to. I wasn't even sure if I was going to do one, but definitely interesting events this week. Thank you guys for coming out. Please leave those reviews. Hit those goddamn like buttons, y'all. Much love. And thank you guys all for the exquisite report. Always means the world to me. All right. Much love, y'all.